So, it's time to be a little bit honest with you. The reason there wasn't much news Crystal's Wrath-wise in the second half of 2013 and early 2014 is we restarted the game. You might ask, why? It was perfect! But in our eyes, the game was far, far from perfect. We feel like we can make a way better, way more interesting, way more original Crash game than just copy-pasting little bits and pieces from Crash 2 and Twinsanity and making some kind of horrible Frankenstein's monster of a video game. So, we're going to show you today the first installment of a multiple-part video series looking at the prototype. The prototype, of course, being everything that we made from the start of the game up until mid-2013, when we restarted. You won't see anything from the new restarted game today, or anytime soon. But trust us, this spring, when we show you the first video of the restarted new version of the game, you'll thank us. Now, without further ado, the prototype.
Forward. Okay, we got 10 seconds to just piss around.
We didn't have 10 seconds because we didn't start until 10.
Okay, well this is our opening screen we made using the actual Unreal opening, and I added Pinstripe in there.
Yeah,
for shiggles.
That was cool.
Everybody...
His copyright information. That's always fun.
Yeah, everybody loves copyright information. Everybody's seen this part already. It's just the opening bit of the game.
It's like, hey, by the way, we're gonna be saving your game, so don't fuck it up.
I hate that little loading indicator you added to the bottom left.
Yeah, I hate it.
It was
too,
better,
but
it was better when it was a spinning crate. So yeah, everybody knows
this was
the menu.
before the spinning crate, actually.
Yeah, yeah, everybody knows the menu. You're just going through there, making sure the settings are decent enough.
Yeah, I had to roll back the version of the game I'm playing for this because the one that's a little bit closer to today was it wouldn't play.
So yeah, everybody's seen this level.
That's
it's like the first video we... Anyway, everybody's seen this. It's the first level we posted when we talked about Crystal's Wrath. You know, just a little test, really, just to see like what we could do aesthetically. Parts of it are good. A lot of parts are screwed up.
Yeah,
we had basic gameplay stuff going on. We had the crates, wampas, and these little... Well, you just saw them there a second ago. I was too late.
They were mini gyms, which...
They were mini gyms, and there's also like the bear traps, the crates, and the crabs.
The mini gyms were kind of like the bolts in Ratchet and Clank. They were just pretty much currency.
Yeah, and we ended up not doing that.
Here's our favorite character.
The best character in the game. Everybody knows him as Fish. Yeah, that was the underwater tubes. We're not going fast enough. You explain this.
Yeah, this here was a prototype for a super secret boss character's level, and by that I mean the Komodo mines.
That was not a spoiler at all.
Yeah.
What is wrong with the TNT texture on those? They keep flipping between regular crates.
This is when we were doing crates a little differently. They were all the same object, and they just kind of picked what crate they were in the editor. So sometimes the texture didn't load because it was done dynamically.
And that was a pretty nifty elevator, but it just leads to nowhere.
Yeah, because we didn't get far on that level.
Ice physics. This is right when we started implementing the idea of using ice physics.
Apparently, it's also right around the time we started implementing the idea of Pinstripe being in every level for no reason.
He was kind of the G-man of the earlier build. He was hidden around everywhere.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, our ice physics feel a little more forgiving than Crash 2's ice physics, but are for some reason harder to control.
Yeah, they're like, oh boy, here comes the...
Check out those level names.
This is from when we were going to have a warp room. Apparently the levels were Cunt Canyon, Dick River, and Fellatio Falls.
And here's what it looks like with the lighting a bit cooler.
There's some more Pinstripe.
Is that monitor following you? I can't tell over the stream.
No, it's not.
We ended up making that and here's actually the way that was set up.
Yeah.
It was just Penny hanging out over there in front of a background. Pretty cheap, but it looked good on the screen, so that's all that really mattered.
Video game magic.
Alright, there's enough of that, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Come on, okay.
This is me experimenting with the wall jump. The idea was that late in the game, you'd have to do some pretty complicated jumping.
Parkour.
Yeah, some crazy parkour
Crash
bullshit.
Bandicoot Mirror's Edge.
Yeah. So, like, this was probably going to be, like, probably one of Cortex's bases. And he finally wised up, and he was like, maybe I should make this a little harder to jump around on, because Crash does a lot of jumping.
And belly flop grates.
Yeah. And here comes one of the first annoyances in recording this for me.
Is why you never get the crystal.
Yeah, you never get the crystal because it shows the
because it
old
makes it
model.
switch back to the old model.
Yeah.
And I've never seen this.
Yeah, Patrick's never actually seen this. This was me just screwing around, trying to make some classic Crash kind of stuff. The texture is borked on that bridge, like beyond recognition.
Snow level.
Yeah.
Snow
Just
level 9000.
Screwing around with some terrains. Just seeing what happens.
Yes, trying to get inspired a bit. That was a cool idea, and I'm surprised that worked out as well as it did.
Yeah, these are like better versions of the mini gyms that you saw earlier, but they never worked because by the time we were starting to get them to work, we were like moving away from it anyways.
Yeah. Here's like a Frogger style. You got a little bit of platforming, moving platforms down a river.
Yeah.
Coming down a waterfall.
And as you can tell, this is definitely like pre-alpha art.
Yeah, it's just blocked in, really. And I don't remember seeing this at all, either.
Yeah, I was screwing around with some physics. But the way we do the camera in the old game, the physics borks it. So, like, I don't know why, but the camera was based on Crash's point of view instead of the other way around, which is the way it should be. And whenever you would turn left, if you had been rotated and you didn't move the camera, it would force the camera to point where you were pointing, and that really broke the game. So.
And real quick, here's a quick puzzle test of doing like ice physics and trying to accomplish something to go get a crystal.
There's one of the first lag spikes that happened while I was recording this, which was a real pain. Because in our game, for some reason, when it freezes like that, when the frame rate drops, I meant to say dips.
I hate my drippy frame rate.
Yeah, when the frame rate drops, the game, somehow, some way, manages to keep running. So, like, when it unfreezes, the game knows where it should be, and it really screws with you. So, like, it'll unfreeze, and you'll see a good.
Nobody ever saw the jetpack.
Yeah, we did have the jetpack in our game.
It wasn't pretty, but it worked. It definitely worked.
It was gonna be pretty.
It was better than the fly mode. The Arenaman. Yeah. There was gonna be a Ratchet and Clank style arena, and this guy would be the guy who'd let you in. Don't get that close to his face.
Yeah, you never in the game camera and in cutscene cameras, you're usually never gonna be able to see him up that close. So I figured I'd just show how lazy we were under that hair.
And speaking of lazy, you can check out this puzzle of bear traps.
Yeah, it's
not
impossible
puzzle,
to beat.
But
by the way,
we wanted to take. Oh, I guess we should talk about this first.
I have no idea what the hell that is.
That's the first time that has ever happened.
That is the first time that's ever happened, and it happened today. And during a year of working on puzzles and stuff, this never ever happened. And today, when I'm recording to show the canceled version of the game, of course it happens.
Okay, real quick. Twin Sanity inspired worm.
It used to work a lot better, actually, and then somehow
here's Chongo Chongo.
Yeah, Chongo.
This is setting up for a puzzle.
Yeah, Chongo is showing.
You'd see that he isn't a fan of bees.
He's showing you how to complete the bee puzzles, which you'll see here.
So there's a beehive. You'd go spin it, and you'd make the bees chase you, and Chongo Chongo would be blocking the path. And the only way to get him to run out of the way is to bring the bees over, and I guess
Yeah,
whatever.
I failed pretty hard there, so I turned the jetpack on right before I hit the kill line. I just thought it was, cool and worth showing.
You had to show off those skills.
Yeah, and then this happens.
Oh, you did it.
Yeah, fun fact, these bees, you can hear, are just me going bzz, bzz, buzz, bzz. But before that, they actually just played "I'm a Bee" by
Black Eyed Peas. I'm a bee. I'm a bee.
And it was really fun.
I'm a bee.
Really fun to play the game, walking around and getting chased by bees, and she's like, "I'm a bee, I'm a bee." Okay, here's what I was talking about earlier. The game lags, and it freezes on screen, but it's still running. So when it unfreezes, the game moves you where it thinks you were going to be. So it unfroze, and it thought I was going to be in the hole. So it put me in the hole, and I died because the bees got me.
This is actually, I don't know if we even said this. This is supposed to be the native village.
Yeah.
This is just the really rough blocking of it. It was probably the most complete, at least layout-wise, of any other level.
Yeah. This lava area wasn't going to have lava in the final game. It was just us screwing with environment effects. This masterpiece of a model
was going to be Papu's hut.
Yeah, it was going to be Papu's hut, which I'm typing into the console there, which you can kind of read. You were going to fight Papu here. As the console says, was going to be a boss fight in there. And that pretty much wraps up this edition of the look back at our prototype.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to see the next part.
Part 2 coming, whenever.